Well, well, well. So what do I think of this bike now that I've used it on single track? Even though I just did lightly, I kind of like I did before with the 125 kit, and my mishap was only that I bumped the petcock or whatever with my boot and turned it off. It is a lot better with the 150cc kit. You know, I paid for this bike out of my own money. I paid for this, the bars, these, the master cylinder, the making the skid plate, the material, the Kydex for the clutch cover. I paid for all that out of my own pocket. The only thing I had on the shelf that was a gift to me at one point, the Voyager, is the only thing here that I had on my shelf, but I didn't get it for this bike build, so I have no influence here whatsoever to talk bad about the bike. Whether I think I've pretty much been pretty honest with my experience, with my surroundings, with my high altitude, and everything that comes with living in Colorado. This bike is a bargain. If you want a new bike, it's a bargain. If you want more power off the bat, then yeah, get something used for the same price as buying this new. However, if you're starting out and you don't have the height to you, then this bike will probably fit you good. My wife could get on this. She's not all that tall, but you know, they do make a lower seat and they do make a lowering link kit. So I'm sure you could add both of those, and this thing would be flat foot for pretty much almost anyone other than a midget. Or do we say small people now? I don't know. But a midget could probably then be almost on this bike. No, they couldn't. They'd still be too tall. But, you know, most people could be on this bike. So it's affordable. For me, insurance was next to nothing, just because I already have two other bikes fully insured with Progressive. So adding this, I don't even know what it was. It was insignificant. The other thing I got for this bike, I haven't put it on yet because I haven't been to a trail system, is the OHV tag. So $25.25. I do have the stickers. I need to put that on. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm going to put on the rear brake switch here, just for safety, for selling this bike. So when somebody pulls the front in, the light comes on and they're good to go. I'm okay because I usually, on the road, I'm always using the rear. Unless there's car stop behind me, then I'll kind of let off and, you know, not worry about it because, you know, cars are stopped behind me. As far as the suspension on the bike, I am no pro. I don't tend to mess with suspension. I don't think it's that bad for me riding quick. Definitely you could get used to it, and I think it's okay. It's a really light bike. It's much lighter than my gas, so off-road, like on a single track, if you get stuck, it is easier to move around, so that is a good thing. Oddities of this bike. Well, I think they should have just went ahead and put the 150cc kit in this from the get-go, seeing as Yamaha makes one, so it would be official. It would be awesome, and that's where it really should be, and it wouldn't probably cost Beta next to anything because, well, instead of this 125 jug, it would be the 150. The manufacturing cost probably is a wash there, so I don't know. It just seems like that would be a good upgrade, and they could even advertise that for future bikes, like 150cc, you know, as if it's like a big new thing. I don't like this fuel cap door. As you can see, I have it off with a hose. That thing doesn't seem to vent good. My buddies said his vents from up here, and there is a dimple in front of the gas tank, and it must have something threaded in and out. But he says the problem is you're going down a steep hill, the fuel leaks out. I guess that's probably only when it's topped off. But you can see the bubbles here. It's ridiculous. And I think they should just put a normal cap here, even if it's a locking cap, and then all this wasted space here that goes to the backbone would be fuel. So a little engine, that much more fuel, I don't know, what's that, 10, 15 more miles probably? 20? I mean, it's probably a fairly significant amount, especially bringing this up, putting a normal cap, even if it's locking, just so probably European market, it probably has to have a locking fuel cap. What else? I wish they would just have a skid plate from the get-go, even if it was just a simple flat skid plate. That's probably all most people would need, and it just seems kind of cheap that they kind of chintzied out on that. They even chintzied out by not even giving you flag-type bark busters, kind of like motocross, where it's just the plastic here and then goes out, just plastic. They could at least put those on just as something, you know, just kind of wind buff and protect your hand from branches if you do find yourself on a trail, at least from the get-go. But like I showed, $28, and you got something real cheap here. You know, you got, I think it was like $25 for this mount to make it for the fat bar that I put the Tusk Chub. I like the wider bar. I like the Tusk bend. I like that bend. And it's a real size thick bar. I just prefer that. That's just a preference thing. It will provide me more leverage because it is wider. I didn't cut them down any. I mean, sure, you could cut these down some, you know, probably to that line on each side. There's plenty of space here to move stuff in. So you could cut these down and be a little bit narrower. I just leave them how they come, and I'm fine with that. In road use, it's nice too because you hit a pothole or something, jars you, you got the leverage there to counter it real easy. A thing I realized they probably couldn't do is put the Voyager on here without a $500 probably price increase to the bike, even though it wouldn't cost them that much to get these from Trail Tech because they already sourced these for their other bikes. It probably would cost, realistically, they weren't looking to make money on this bike but just have awesome features, I don't know, $150 to the price, or at least have it so it's plug and play with all the fittings to their other dash. So from the get-go, from the dealer, you could be like, I want a Voyager, and they could be like, okay, and it's already set up to just plug and play and put it in. Now that would be neat, and that's just something Beta should do. That would be easy money, even if they're selling these at whatever normal cost. The user then could just plug and play, either do it themselves or the dealer could even. And if it's easy enough, the dealer might not even charge anything to do it just to make the sale. Like, yeah, buy the bike, we'll toss that on. That's fine, you know, because it's going to take us 10 minutes. So that would be something that, you know, they could do. Of course, with the key here, I don't know. I mean, it's there. It obviously clears good enough. You can pull it in and out. Without the BRP top mount here, you know, I can reach in here and grab it fairly easy. Oh, the other annoyance while I'm reaching around. I don't know why they made the OEM line so dang short. So, like, it's like down to here and it was getting caught in here. It was annoying. So I got the XR650R line, fit in down there just fine. And I got the XR650R just knockoff lever. It works just fine. A lot better than the Beta pit bike lever and brake, well, lever that was on here because I didn't change the caliper. But this comes up higher. Now, granted, it's a little on the high side, but, I mean, if Beta would just make their cable come up maybe to here. Give a little extra, guys. I mean, there's a little bit of riser, which is like next to nothing in here. Made it so it was like getting caught on that and just going doom, doom, doom as it was flicking in and out. But you don't want that, so yeah. So, well, I spent like $44 on a new line, $17.10 for this generic, and it actually works. And it works so good, and knowing it works, if I was keeping this bike, if this were to break, I would just go ahead and buy an XR650R one for $170 and toss it on here. Now, what they do make for the XR650R is adjustable levers. Like, there's companies that make those, generic companies, like, so $40 you can get a set of levers. So it's really, well, you're spending $40 because you only need the one side. I don't know, probably that side wouldn't work because it's not XR650R. However, you could change that to adjustable. And I know this is a knockoff, so it may or may not work. Don't know. I don't think I'm going to go down that route to try. I mean, I suppose I could, but I don't know if I would sell the bike with it. I would probably just toss it over on my XR650R, wouldn't I? What else for this bike? I don't know. The bike's pretty good. It runs a lot better with that 150cc kit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed me on the single track. Hopefully you enjoyed all the videos I've made. I hope to make a few more before I put this bike up for sale, which is going to be coming soon. I know everyone's probably going to want to know, like, what's the price? Okay, the price I'm starting at, because it's going to change most likely, because that's how things do in haggling and all that. But I'm going to ask $4,800, and I have the title in hand, so we don't have to wait for a bank. You know, I paid cash. I got title in hand. and you get what's on this bike right now, what I just showed, and you get a box of 13.2 sprocket, the stock 62 front sprocket, I believe it is. You get the wheel stickers that the dealer didn't put on. You get the 125 piston and cylinder. You get an extra, one of the extra metal gaskets because the bike's so new. That's still good. So you get that. I'm going to throw in a Trackmaster rear tire just so you have a new tire. You get the stock mirrors, although there's one perch, but I have, obviously you'll be getting the parts I've taken off like this, and you'll be getting the stock handlebars. You'll be getting, so you can put the black one over on here that I have from this side and put the mirror stock on there and have both factory mirrors, or you can do whatever you want with the mirrors. That's up to you. You can do, I would recommend do like a double take system with a ram mount, the ball, and just put the ball in at least on one side. And that would probably work the best because you could angle it however you want, and they stay put. They're pretty good. And then when you get a trail like this, you can just screw it and fold it down and tighten it back up. They do work awesome, so I highly recommend double take. There's also a generic one. I heard it's not as good on Amazon, but you could go through that route and get some mirrors. So $4,800, or haggle with me, best offer. You're going to be getting a pretty dang sweet bike. And I believe I only have, here, let's go ahead and check. What do I have for miles? Oh, maybe it's down on user. I have, depending which one you want, GPS 342 miles, wheel odometer 327.5 miles. So a good chance I'll have like 450 miles on this when I post it officially for sale here. I don't know, probably by next week. So what do you guys think? Think this is I think it's a pretty good bike for somebody starting out on. You're not going to kill yourself. You're not going to twist the throttle, have the bike shoot up in the air, take off on you. This is a really nice bike. It is a nice bike. And now with the big bore kit, I think it put it right where it should have been from the factory, at least at us at altitude, you know, and probably sea level. You're probably going to notice that 150 even more. It's going to have that much more grunt. And like I said, it's a good starting bike, or a bike for that guy that's been riding forever. He's like, hey, I just want to mosey down trails and stuff. I don't care. I'm not going to ride on the interstate. I'm not doing adventure riding. I'm just going to cruise around the forest roads, and I just want a laid back bike. You know, I'm going to be staying seated. I'm not going to be jumping. I'm not going to be riding fast. Awesome bike. So guys, gals, YouTube peeps, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Hopefully you found this interesting and helpful, because there's not too many videos on the Beta 125 RRS bike, and hopefully this helps you decide, is this a first bike for me, or is this a bike I buy for the wife to start riding on? I think the answer is yes. It's going to be reliable because it's new. Whether you buy it from me or just the 125 and do whatever you want with it, it's going to be a reliable bike. So everyone, take care and stay well, my friends. Have a good one. Bye.